All right. Hey, folks, welcome back to the Gambit Update Show. I'm Andrew Essig.
Sean Crocker.
We're back, made it back from the Granite Games.
We
back
did.
for the little update. We'll do a quick recap on the Granite Games, but we do have a Gambit docuseries on the way, a bunch of video we shot while we were there. And be on the lookout for that. That'll give you kind of all the details. But we'll do a quick recap.
Yeah.
Sean, was that your first major CrossFit competition attendance?
It was.
What are your thoughts?
I got a lot of sunshine. I got a good tan going, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was exciting. It was a lot of fun. It was great watching, a team that I have obviously a social and emotional investment in.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly probably the best part for me. Like, it's cool watching people like Mal O'Brien, like these really high-level performers, go out and do their thing. But having a stake in a team that I've coached with, that I'm friends with, all that stuff, it definitely brings the excitement up a lot more for me.
I do think it's a little different. Like, CrossFit's kind of a unique thing where Kelly and I kind of keep ending up back at the CrossFit Games for one reason or another. We're coaching, or she's on demo team, or she's competing, or whatever. And I kind of, the last couple of years I've gone, I think to myself, would I ever come here just to spectate?
Yeah.
And I don't think I would. If I don't have like much of a vested interest in it, and I think probably just because it's our job and we do it all the time. There are definitely people that do that.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting. It's
interesting.
like I've watched all of the semifinals this season. Poured over all of it. I don't watch all of the heats usually. I just go to the last heat because it's just those are the kind of the bigger names. Those are the people that are in contention of winning.
As you do.
Yeah, exactly. So I watch a lot of final heats and stuff, and I've watched every event. I thought, we were obviously in and out, kind of prioritizing the team and making sure they were taken care of and well fed and rested and kind of getting in and out when they needed to. And we didn't really watch a whole lot of the individual competition, and I didn't miss it at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I always say when I go. It's like, I'm there to coach like Kelly, so I'm kind of like watching the female, whatever division, she was the Masters division last year, and it's like, you're like, oh, did you see so-and-so lift this? I'm like, I didn't see anything except the women's Masters heat, because
such a singular focus.
There's a lot of, and you'll see in the video, I usually try to shoot a little bit of like what my walking path is every day, because there's just walking from A to B to C, back to B, back to A. It's like, I'm going out, trying to hang out with you guys that are spectating, then I have to go back to the warm-up area, totally on the other side of the facility, then all the way down to like the kind of where the coaches can stand and watch the event happen, and then all the way back to the warm-up area. A lot of ground covered, but in the inner, and which is not that big a deal. But the end result is you get to see none of the rest of the competition really.
Get some great steps in.
A lot of steps in, and hopefully some good footage this year. So the team ended up. I think there was 20 teams. One of the teams withdrew. I guess I don't know the full story on that, but ended up being 19 teams competing. Gambit ended up 18th, which. Seems like not a great result, but I think as we said in the videos leading up to that, kind of the update videos, weren't necessarily expecting a huge result out of the team. It was kind of like they qualified 75th out of 80th place in North America, which just meant, hey, we're kind of just here to survive and have a good time.
Yeah.
We did have a good time. As we'll mention those of you following on social media noticed Joel had like a back tweak or back injury in the first movement of the first event of the weekend, which kind of set the tone for the rest of the weekend. It was like, can he just survive the rest of the weekend? So all things considered, I think we ended up really well. And our deal is generally just to kind of put the blinders on and focus on, can we execute workouts well? Yeah. And we had some better than others, but I think at the end we can be happy with the efforts and the execution that we.
Yeah, I think we learned a lot. I think we were dished out a healthy dose of adversity. Not only in that weekend, but leading up to that weekend. It's like we didn't have an easy go through this season by any stretch of the imagination. So I think everyone survived.
Learn something for next year. Try to be a little more organized. Try to hopefully we have a good roster. I mean, Kelly and I will be discussing, and I'm sure you'll be involved as well, what our kind of competitive program looks like moving into next year.
Right.
As we kind of move through kind of a transitional period, I would say, with our competition. As Kelly's kind of not trying to compete as much herself. But yeah, overall successful weekend. Pretty amazing that like you came up, Phil, Marshall was there, Suzanne drove up.
Christine
was there.
Colin and Cormac came up for about 12 hours. Not even. Not 12
hours.
They're there for like one event. But Mark came up.
Yeah.
Corey's husband.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a healthy showing. I think it's still impressive. The most impressive thing of the weekend is hearing Suzanne on the live feed. Like, girl's got some lungs on her.
If you guys were watching the live feed and you thought you heard Suzanne yelling across the entire field, you did.
You did.
So props to her. So yeah, keep an eye out for that Gambit docuseries up and coming. Again, we've got the, well, we should also mention before I move on, the Pride event just kicked off this last weekend. Huge success, so we just want to say thank you to everybody that came out for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in light of the absolutely rude welcome the Pride community got in Idaho this last weekend. I don't know if you heard about that, but not a great situation. Luckily, the authorities were able to nip some things in the bud. It looked like there was some nonsense about to be afoot up there, and I think 31 people got arrested for toting around firearms and other things. It just was an ugly situation. So it makes me even more thankful that we're able to pull off stuff like that and have a lot of support and have a good time. So,
well, I don't know what happened there, but our Pride event went great.
Yeah.
I went to the like kind of post Wad with Pride Fest. Yeah, that was fun. I got invited to Florida with a wonderful couple. I did not go, but the invitation was well received.
Well received, just not accepted.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, all in all good things.
And we've all got some tie-dye shirts to show.
We all got some tie-dye shirts.
And then we've got Backlot Bout this weekend, which we've mentioned several times, but that's coming up this weekend. Sean and I will be there. We think, hope we're not missing anyone, but we think we've got 4 teams going to compete. So healthy dose of coaches, athletes, members.
16 Gambit people.
So we'll obviously have a really strong showing there. Don't hesitate to drive out. You're welcome to spectate at those events at Uncharted CrossFit.
Yeah, St. Charles.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I've had to look that up, I think, 3 times now. Just my geography gets a little hazy west of St. Louis. We'll again try to maybe live stream some stuff, or at the very least keep everybody abreast of how things are going out there. And that'll be fun. And then lastly, we've got a couple of cycles up and coming that I want to make everybody aware of, kind of our plans. I mentioned in a Instagram post, just kind of, did you read the Instagram post?
Let's say yes.
Well, you already know what I said, so that's fine. Just a general philosophy of how we kind of cycle things at the gym, and how we're not necessarily focused. We haven't been doing a ton of super heavy lifting in the classes, and in case you're wondering where those things have gone, they're coming back. We're cyclical. And in July, we're going to kick off a raw strength powerlifting type cycle, which we've yet to finalize, but we think, by all means, let us know in the comments or shoot us an email what you want to see in that. But similar to the CrossFit Total cycle we ran last year with the squat, deadlift, shoulder press, I would like to see overhead squat. That's the one thing I've got ironed in.
I'd love to see bench press.
I was just going to say bench press also. I love overhead squat, bench press. Possibly forming around the other total, which isn't that bench press?
Yeah, it's bench
overhead
press,
squat, bench,
overhead
clean.
Squat, clean.
Yeah, so maybe we'll base it off that, maybe add in, sprinkle in a couple other things. But if there's anything else you want to see in that. From there, we'll run that for, I think, 12 weeks is the plan. And then we'll run into a more traditional Olympic lifting cycle, snatch, clean and jerk, all that kind of good stuff. And that'll lead us pretty much right into the open next year. So keep an eye out for that, but you've got kind of some deload time before that. You've got probably 4, 5, 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, which I think is a super important and often overlooked point in time.
And that's kind of what I mentioned in the Instagram post, was focus on mobility, enjoy this deload time.
Yeah, and then just look back, if you're if the CrossFit season is something you care about, your performance in the open, it's take an honest look at what do you think held you back? Talk to me, talk to Kelly, talk to Andrew, talk to one of your coaches about hey, this is what I think's wrong. How do I help progress to this in the next season? It's a good time for that reflection and just giving yourself a sense of just letting go of all of this hard pushing intensity, have fun, move better.
Yeah, or even just shifting your intensity, because there are some. I've talked to some people that's what they like about CrossFit. And that's why they like about fitness, is that hard push. But you don't need necessarily be under super heavy loads and maxing your snatch, and it can actually be detrimental to your performance when it comes time when the season comes back around, because the Open happens and it's like you're so beat down from the last 6 months of training that you can't even put up a good performance there.
Yeah.
So our idea is to kind of like get people peaking at the right time.
100%.
But like Sean said, if you need some additional work, or you want to do some extra programming, or you want to focus or hone in on one or two things leading up to that, we can help you. So reach out to us. We're happy to set you up on a specified program or get you a little bit of one-on-one attention.
Yeah.
So that's that. Anything else to add, Sean?
No.
Excellent.
That's a great update.
Well, welcome back to the update show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right. See ya.